Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike.
Hey, hot Hollywood Mike. I mean, temperature-wise.
I didn't know you cared, Ray.
Not like in a studly way or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you really, you going to let that go? Or do you want to ask Paulie to edit that part out?
No, Paulie, leave it in. You just leave it in there. It's, what, are you coming from the beach or what?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm coming from Naperville today. And
on the bike.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Very
you know what? So I brought it in. Look at this.
Let me see. Oh, look at your vest.
I've been promising, so it's official. That's why everybody has to call me Hollywood.
That's right.
Once you have it on your motorcycle vest, that's it. You're
That's
Hollywood
right.
for the rest of your life.
Wait. I think it says Hollyweed.
No, it definitely says Hollywood.
Does it Hollywood? Okay.
Yeah.
My old eyes.
Yeah, it definitely says Hollywood there. So did you get your invite?
My invite.
The invite to, check this out. I just got this today. It came to me from Dean Schultz.
Dean Schulte.
Schulte.
Yes, for the Hall of Fame induction.
I got a little squirrely connection here with my headphones. So I can't move around too much. Yeah. So, he sent it to me. I got it by way of Dean, and it is for the rock and roll induction ceremony on September 17th. I think I have to go to it this year.
It's at the Rialto.
Yeah.
It's a good lot of fun.
Good spot.
Yeah.
We'll have to get some more details and tell some people about it.
And everybody out there needs to get tickets to go.
I think Ron would appreciate it if we promoted it.
Yeah, let's sell it out.
Maybe we can get some of our thousands of listeners in India to.
Oh yeah, a cast of thousands. Yes.
Yeah. As we get the lineup, we'll start talking about it a little bit. I thought that was pretty neat to get that today. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So we got some of your friends here tonight.
We got some legends to be. They might be inducted in the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, one day themselves.
Well, let's talk to them. Who is it?
We got Shukin And The Ramblers here.
How you doing? What's going on? Great to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, they brought their fans with them.
I hear they're from India.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all hanging outside right now.
Yeah, that's right. So tell all of our listeners about you guys.
Well, we formed. I started writing a lot of the songs that we play.
Well, first, why don't we explain who you are?
Well, my name is Matt Shukin. Hi, everybody. How you doing? That's a good starting point.
Leader of the Ramblers.
Absolutely. Yes. I play the guitar and I sing, and I am the principal songwriter of the group. And a lot of these songs I wrote, for years, and I never really had my own outlet to release them. I've been playing in bands for most of my life, but it's always been I've never been the guy really doing much of the writing or sort of being in the forefront. Aside from a couple endeavors, but I met these guys right out of the pandemic, and we just kind of gelled, and we've been playing. We've been together for coming on about 3 years now. So yeah.
So remind my old mind, because I think the first time we met is when you were hosting the Open Jam. What was that place on Ogden Avenue in Lisle?
That was Stillins in Lisle. Yeah, Stillins.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly it. Was that before or after the pandemic? I can't remember.
That was before. That was like 2018, 2019, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Wow. Yeah. So it's been a few years that we've known each other. I walked in there and you were hosting that place. Yeah, that's right. I remember there were still guys like, Herman Hines was there quite often.
Yeah.
We still had Twist Ferguson showing up there every once in a while and everything.
Right.
So that definitely was pre-pandemic. So I've known you for a while. He was this young guy, long hair, playing a black and white Dan Electro guitar.
Yeah.
And my first thought is, who plays Dan Electro guitar?
That's still my go-to.
And I still see the pictures of it. And you plugged the thing in and played the shit out of it.
Yeah, I love. That's my workhorse. I like to beat it up.
Yeah. And I think at the time you said it's not that expensive. And you don't care if you drop it or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And it turned into the kind of thing that now you're just like playing it all the time.
That's it, right? That's it. I bought it cheap at a guitar store. I was shopping for an acoustic guitar actually, and then I saw that thing and I was like, well, I gotta buy it.
Yeah. Looks kind of cool.
Put a little bit of work into it, but it's still holding up. So
Right. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
go ahead and finish up with who you are and how this whole thing got together.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been playing in bands for a long time, and I still am a part of the Black Bolts, which is my good friend Henry's group, and I play guitar in that group as well. But he's been focusing on some other stuff, so we've been focusing on our stuff the last 3 years, but this year we've really been picking it up quite a bit, and we just got the master for our first single that's coming out relatively soon. So it might, by the time this podcast comes out, it'll probably already be out. So that's, let's use this as promotion for that, sort of. And it's just, it's exciting. We're finally getting the ball rolling after getting tight and getting comfortable and sort of moving it forward. So
right.
What's the name of the single?
It's called The Water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people can get it where?
It'll be on Spotify and all the stuff, and we'll see it. We might. I don't know if people listen to CDs anymore, but we were thinking about having some CDs to give out. But yeah.
Okay.
That shows you a little bit about the age gap, because we're sitting around here going, I wonder if people are listening to vinyl anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wonder if people are listening to CDs anymore.
I collect records myself, so I got a vast collection of vinyl records, and
Vinyl's making a comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
Best Buy behind you. Best Buy got rid of all their CDs a few years ago. You can't even buy a CD at Best Buy anymore.
Right.
I didn't even know that. Dang.
Yeah, none of that stuff. So, oh well, their loss.
That's right.
That's how it rolls.
So, who you got with us?
This is the band. This is the core band right here. We got Rob Kletsky, who plays the upright bass.
What's up, guys?
Is that mic not work?
Let's find out.
What you guys coming through?
Check 1, 2.
There we go.
There we
Number
go.
3. There we go.
Let's
Okay.
take 2.
I'm Rob. I'm playing the bass, the big bass, the little bass. I bass it up.
Slapping the bass, man.
And my name is Dan Tamelo. I'm the drummer for the Ramblers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I noticed you didn't bring an instrument with you today.
I got a few, percussion instruments in the backpack.
He's got some tricks.
Shaker, tambo.
Some tricks up the sleeve,
Excellent.
As long as you're hitting things.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Stomp on the floor a little bit,
Right.
Right. So, have you guys known each other for a while, and then you decided to get together and start making music together, or how'd that come around?
Well, initially, this is how I remember it. I'd known Rob for several years prior. We'd done a couple things here and there. And then I met Dan because he was playing in another group, the Banknotes.
Yeah. Shout out Banknotes. They're not around anymore, but
and then we just all ended up at this. It was like the first open mic that any of us possibly could have gone to after the lockdown and all that stuff. And it was an outdoor thing. And I had known Rob, and he had the upright bass, and then Dan was there, and I was just like, hey, do you guys want to just try to play some of these tunes that I have? And I just threw a couple original songs at them that they had never heard before in their lives, and then we just kind of did it, and it felt cool. It was like, all right, we got something going here. Maybe we should pursue this.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah.
It felt really natural.
It took probably a month or two to actually get the ball rolling on that, but it was, it was great.
It was like lightning in the bottle.
Yeah, it was very.
As we played.
It was a very it felt good in the moment, So it's like, well, let's explore this and see what we can do with it. So
do you guys have a song entitled "Lightning in a Bottle"?
No, but that's a great idea. Not yet. That's the answer. Not yet. There you go.
Yeah,
we'll soon.
Go.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, you
heard it first here on the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
This is where it's more lightning in a bottle, inspiring the lightning in the bottle. There we go.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to lean over and you don't have to lean over him or whatever. You can grab hold of that thing and move the microphone wherever you need to. It doesn't really have a lot of handling noise or anything involved in it. Cool. So the whole bit. So what makes a young man such as yourself decide that I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy this giant upright bass and I'm going to start doing that because nobody else is doing that right now?
Yeah, well, some of it is nobody else is doing it right now. So I'm a big fan of anything novelty. I like weird things. But I've been playing upright bass for a little while. I was more of a jazz guy at the time that Matt and I had ever gotten together, and playing with him a little bit, hearing his original songs and where some of his influences come from. This like old world rock and roll things have this kind of swing or shuffle sort of feel. It's a thing I wanted to do, this kind of rockabilly vibe with it. It just lent itself so well. Right. And I remember when I first got that instrument and brought it to a rehearsal, these guys were like, what is this? What are we doing? And then just started smacking away at it, thumping my heart out. And
he's talking about music. Okay.
Right.
He's talking about music.
And the bass also. It just kind of worked really well. And so we just kind of been rolling on it. And I've been fixing this thing up to be more and more electric worthy, and kind of try to bring some of that back.
We've been rolling on it. We've been standing on it. We've been beating the heck out of it.
It's also good. It also makes for a good prop.
Yeah.
It's a great percussion instrument too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what is it about that rockabilly style? And I opening this up to anybody, what is it about that rockabilly style that kind of speaks to you?
Well, so I'm not world's biggest rockabilly fan. I just like the instrument. So part of my motivation is I kind of want to take this, what is typically thought of as, from a different era, from a specific genre, and start pushing it into, like, who says like an upright bass can't be in heavy metal, for example, or anything like that. It does everything that the electric bass can do, Right. It just does it differently, and it's a different sound, and it's a different approach to all this stuff. So.
Right.
That's some of my motivation is kind of take it out of that stigma, if you will. Yeah. We have a running joke that we're a rockabilly band that doesn't play rockabilly.
We don't really play rock. We have a sort of a rockabilly setup, and we have rockabilly influence, but I would not consider our genre or the stuff that we produce rockabilly music.
Sure.
I love Carl Perkins and like the Stray Cats and all that stuff. Big influences on me, but we sort of take from a lot of different places and try to sort of mesh it all together and make our own thing out of it. So.
And we're going to hear that momentarily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For sure. Were you about to say something? I think I interrupted you.
No, I was thinking that you already hit on it, but just saying, we look like a rockabilly band. We don't play rockabilly. So it's kind of funny though, because it lends pretty easily to, for us to play like car shows and things like that. People always like, they see the upright bass and a bunch of vintage cars and, we're right in there. So it's like, it really kind of helps with, just the image too. It looks cool, all that kind of stuff. So,
We're very adaptable. We can play any event you want us to,
Right.
No, Jethro Tull put a flute to rock and roll.
Yeah, right.
Yolo put a cello to rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it'll work.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Geez, Robert Randolph put a pedal steel guitar to rock and roll.
Yeah, there you go.
An instrument that's traditionally a country instrument.
That's right. True.
That's what everybody thinks.
You got to figure out how to work it in there.
Right. Absolutely.
So you guys are all from this, from this western / southwestern type suburb area of Chicago.
Yeah.
And of course you got connections and roots to Chicago. Otherwise you guys wouldn't be here. But
of course.
So what's your favorite thing about actually being a musician in this area?
Well,
I'd say the blues, baby.
Well, yeah. Chicago and the blues go hand in hand, man, but I was gonna say it's just there's so many different and uniquely talented individuals in this area, and I feel like you don't get that everywhere. I feel like, just from my experience of traveling to, some places, it doesn't seem like it's as tight knit as it is around here. And I feel like a lot of people are very supportive, and everybody sort of is everybody's connected, but they're doing their own thing. Everybody's got room for their own thing. And I really think that's cool.
Yeah. And we've all been in many different acts, different styles. Like I was in a funky ska band. I've been in a metal band. I've been in cover bands, country band, and like I feel like it's cool because there's a place for all that stuff. It's
diverse.
You got a little bit of everything anywhere you go.
Right. Yeah. So often you go other places and you think, okay, I saw this guy playing rock and roll, so he's a rock musician, or I saw this person playing country, that's a country musician.
Yeah.
But just around here in this area, it seems, no, he's a musician. Period.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And you can do whatever the heck it is that you want to do.
That is true. I have noticed that. And I think that's really cool. I think that's something that's very unique.
Look at all the people that we all know that, they play in all different kinds of bands.
Oh yeah.
And they always give a generic answer. They're like, why are you playing with this band this week? You were with this band last week. And then, and the stupid generic answer out of everybody's mouth is inevitably, well, whoever's paying. But you know what?
Right.
But, but that's not the truth really, because I mean, what are you getting paid? $150, maybe?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, is that worth, not having a good time?
No, absolutely. At the end of the day, it all comes from the passion to do it and just wanting to get out there and be a part of it. I think,
right.
At least for me personally,
Totally. And like, as speaking for myself as a drummer, probably a lot of other drummers too, it kind of comes from necessity, just whatever people need, you know what I mean? Like, right. I was never looking to be like, I want to be in this type of band. It would be like, oh, I'm friends with these people and we're doing this thing. And I'd be like, well, I guess it's, my time to try on my ska hat or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then good chance to kind of explore some different stuff that maybe I wouldn't do, naturally. And that's what I like so much about this group, actually, this trio that we got going is I feel like, it's diverse enough in the rock genre, but like we kind of get to play what comes naturally to all of us. And I think that's why it works so well, is because no one's really trying to do something that they, need to fit this band or anything like that. I feel like it's just that we all just do this very comfortably.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we should see an example of that.
I think we should. Hey,
Yeah.
the trio thing, that means 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
No, it means tree in Spanish.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I thought he was talking about some kind of Spanish tree. So thanks for clarifying that for me. Yeah, we got a little live music coming up. Sit back, relax, go grab a cold beverage, cup of coffee while they set up.
This is a song called No Canteen.
I don't know where I'm going. This bird on his own floor. If I take another chance, well, I wanna see my past and pray for better days. Outside in the 2020s. Outside don't mean spit when you're out of money. It's getting pretty warm in here now. That's another storm, my dear. You can stay headstrong and you can stay mean, but you can't walk through the desert alone with no team. I'm mistakes I've made before. And yeah, that's some story. That's the way it goes now. Now your friends have fold. Some will stay and some will go. I guess it's a ghost train. Jump to find and be to live. Gotta walk down the walls now. Maybe talk a little talk, yeah. You can stay headstrong, you can stay mean. But you can't walk through the desert alone with no routine. You can't walk through the desert alone with no canteen. You can't walk through the desert alone with no canteen.
Excellent.
Thank you. Very nice. That had a snappy rhythm.
That freaking rocked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
And you know what? It's so funny. I mean, you play rockabilly music. I'm sorry. You do.
Yes, there's elements of it. That song in particular.
Like swampy. It's swampy.
That song in
rockabilly.
particular leans more towards that. We have a lot. I feel like every song that I've written is leaning towards a style, and that's definitely within that element for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. They've said, oh, we don't play rockabilly music. Then I hear that riff and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, they don't. Yeah. Swamp Billy rock and roll.
If you heard that without the upright bass, it would be the blues.
You're right. Yeah, you're definitely right. Yeah.
I may or may not have been listening to a lot of Hubert Sumlin at the point that I wrote that.
That one you guys haven't recorded yet?
That one is recorded. We're not probably going to release that one for a couple couple of months, but we were working on it right now.
We just recorded it right now.
Yeah, we have a recording of it right now.
We've got the exclusive.
Yes, this is the exclusive.
That's right.
We can put it on any internet and market it as an import. Remember back in the 80s?
Yes.
Everybody used to run down to the record stores. Oh, there's this new import that came out, and all it was a shitty recording of something that was already out.
You guys got the first official Ramblers bootleg here. You know?
That's what it is.
The official bootleg.
Yeah, the official bootleg. Right.
That's right.
Yeah. So you said you were listening to a lot of Hubert Sumlin.
Yeah.
When you wrote that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Howlin' Wolf's guitar player.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. What else was the inspiration for that? That sounded like you were going through something at the time.
Oh yeah, well it's just, it's reflective. It's it's kind of the whole idea of it is if you're walking through a desert and you don't have any water to drink, then you're probably not going to make it. Well, and it can go a little deeper than that,
Absolutely.
On many levels. So that's but that's, take that for what that is. And, it's good to have people in your corner. That's kind of what I mean by that.
I envy people that can write lyrics that are so poetic like that all the time, because I'll write like 25 songs or something like that. And then one of them, I'll read the lyrics and go, oh, those are good. The rest of them suck.
Yeah. Well, but
that was pretty poetic.
I go through bouts where I get some good stuff and then I write a lot of really bad stuff and then nobody hears that. So
yeah. Those are going to be your remastered tapes after you're long and gone.
There you go. Yeah. The vault, right?
Yeah. But some of that stuff that it's not happening right now. You put it away for a while. A few years later, you listen to it again, and you read it again. Now suddenly you got something to put to it.
That's true. That is true.
You never think that it's bad. Well, and maybe it just doesn't fit into what's going on right now.
The way that I look at the songwriting process is a lot of it is like a puzzle. And it's, say you come up with this riff or this melody or this line here and this lyric here and this part here and that part there. And then maybe Dan will have a beat or something. And then Rob will come up with an idea. And then it's all these different things at different times. And then sometimes it all clicks together. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes I'll be going back, I'll be listening to stuff I've recorded. I'm like, well, what happened to that? Why didn't I ever do anything with that? And I'll bring it back in the mix and it'll be fresh,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's definitely.
It just wasn't meant for that time period.
Precisely. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's never a failed song. It was just ahead of its time.
Yes, exactly.
At the time. And you needed to wait for time to catch up to it. That's
you had some kind of inspiration to write it, but it just wasn't all together yet. So you got to just wait.
If anybody ever finds my notebooks, they're going to make a fortune.
Hell yeah.
There you go. Exactly.
So, my songwriting process has changed a lot over the years. It used to be I would literally write the music and the words at the same time because I couldn't seem to get to the end of some type of a musical phrase without having some type of a verbal phrase to go along with it. And I would just be stuck there forever. And over time, what's eventually evolved is I can't come up with words because to me, words are expressing how the music is making you feel. So if I don't have the music first and it doesn't make me move, then I just don't even bother with the words. I know that I've got something if I'm playing it over and over again, and next thing you know, subconsciously I don't even realize it, but my foot's tapping.
Yeah,
and that's how I know I've got the music that I need. Then I go back and I put the words.
Yeah, I'm similar.
That's a jam,
Definitely with the instrument or the melodic phrasing or the riff, whatever. That I'm the same way.
Right.
Those are the first pieces of the puzzle.
Matt, you're the key songwriter, but how much of your stuff actually ends up becoming a collaboration between the three of you?
Well, I think all of it, because these guys they've taken some of the stuff that I brought to them. A lot of the songs that we have right now, and we've written some subsequently, but a lot of the stuff that I brought to them is stuff that I had written over the years, like I said, and I really had no outlet. It's just me strumming on an acoustic guitar and doing my own thing. I had a couple of, demos that I had recorded on my own. But when I brought it to these guys, the changed entirely, it was like just the rhythm. Dan's
certainly the arrangement.
Yeah. The arrangement, Dan's the way that Dan approached the rhythm, the way that Rob would do the bass on it, it was just something that I never even possibly could have fathomed in my head. And now that's what brought the song to life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and we do, we work, we're working with some people that are helping us with arranging stuff as well, so that's, so we've rearranged a lot of stuff and, but I think, we don't often have moments where we like just spontaneously collaborate and jam and like, oh, that's a song. We've had a couple moments where we spawn something like that out of it, but a lot of it, you know, I'm not like you said, some of the best songs that I ever wrote are songs where I don't know if I had the lyrics, but I at least had the melody.
Right.
And then I could go in and fill in the blanks afterwards.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm Christy from Crime Cave Podcast. I've had a huge interest in true crime since my days of watching marathons of Snapped back in the mid-90s. I needed an outlet to talk about the cases that have haunted me for a very long time. With each episode under 20 minutes, I shine a light on some of the most bizarre cases in the last 50 years. Join me in the Crime Cave.
Hi, I'm Rick Anthony. I'd like to thank my radio brothers, Ray the Roadie and Hollywood Mike, for allowing me to tell you about my podcast, the Someone You Should Know podcast. We spotlight musicians, authors, and interesting people, and we like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. The podcast is heard twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can check it out on your favorite streaming platforms and on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. That's the Someone You Should Know podcast with me, Rick Anthony. Making a difference, one artist at a time.
Now, how do you guys work together as the rhythm section? You know, you guys come up with a song. Are you coming up with your own parts by yourselves, or are you getting together and talking about it?
First of all, this drummer's a rock, so
he's driving
everything easy.
He's driving the bus.
Fall into.
Well, thank you. I mean, I feel like we kind of feel it out. You know, I guess just speaking from experience, that like since we've started, just like Matt will usually bring something. You know, I don't really work super melodically or anything. I play a little bit of everything, but you know, definitely drum focused. So, you know, I'm always thinking about like transitional parts or, you know, starting simple and then kind of building from there. And then obviously we're playing off of each other. You know what I mean? Like if Rob's got a cool idea, I usually will base my kick pattern off of something similar to what he's doing. And once we kind of land on like something, you know, generally groovy or whatever it is, you know, we can kind of fill in the smaller details from there. So I kind of think big picture first. Let's play simple. Let's play functional. And then once we feel like we got something going, we can kind of like embellish and, you know, figure out like, ooh, let's put a pause here. Let's, you know, why don't we go to the bridge there instead of this, or, you know, add a few bars, whatever it is. So, you know, at least that's kind of how my brain works. And I feel like it's always like a really good kind of conversational thing.
Right. I liked that break in the middle of that song. That was actually kind of a surprise. That was really cool the way that went. Sounded like an ending. It sounded like the song was done. Yeah. I can see you playing that live. And exactly. And the crowd starts applauding. And you're like, nope, nope.
on the recording, you'll hear on the recording of that when it comes out that I insisted that when we come back in on that first hit, I play the vibra slap. And that's my favorite part of the song.
Yeah. Okay.
We did have like layered rain sticks, but we decided
against the rain sticks.
Yeah. There's a running joke that every recording studio has at least one rain stick.
Yeah,
and they want to make sure, and they want to make sure that nobody finds it. You know,
right.
For me, for the process,
that was funny. He was like luring him like a fish.
I was going to say, in terms of back to the writing process, real quick, is like I'm just kind of weird and I like weird shit. And in terms of this ensemble, there's only 3 of us. So there's a lot of space to be had. And so a lot of times, especially, you know, most of what we have currently as our material is stuff that Matt already has, you know, at least a concept or right. So whatever I'm thinking of is like, well, what is Matt not doing? What is Dan not doing? You know, like what's something opposite-ish? What's something contrast that I can do because there's all the space in the world to do it, you know? So that's my idea in terms of arranging and writing with these guys. You know,
when you're in the studio, are you doing any extra guitar tracks, or are you just pretty much recording it the way you're going to make it sound live?
Well,
column A, column B.
Yeah, I mean the approach that we had with this, and we're probably going to every time we do a session, we're probably going to try something a little different. But with this particular session of songs that we did, we have 5 tracked, and then we're going to track a 6th acoustic for it. With this approach, what we did is we gave Dan a click track in his headphones, and then we just all played live.
Right.
And we just ripped it like we would a show, and he was keeping the time.
The rest of us with no click.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to capture what we might sound like.
Yeah.
if you came to the club to see us.
Keep a few mistakes in there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then,
and also just having them thinking about like playing off what I'm doing and like listening to the drums as they would live rather than having the, not that they're off or anything like that. Not necessarily mistakes. It's just like, I feel like it's a little more organic, with their playing and thought process if they're not hearing the doot,
Right.
Like something that I'm like,
that is annoying.
I appreciate that. I'm like, yes, I want to hear that as loud as I can while, we're recording or something, but it kind of helped give it a little bit more organic feel than, robotic rather.
Right.
And then as far as overdubs go, I did on a couple of tracks, I did overdub a handful of guitars. I think the single that we're putting out the water, there's a lot of guitar tracks just because we were trying to fill out a lot of sound. But some of it was doubled from the scratch track. Is there somebody singing outside?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Jam it out.
Get them in here.
Yeah, come on in. But so like there's a couple songs where there are a lot of overdubs. I did overdub a few of the leads as well. And then I overdubbed, when we were playing live, I used scratch vocals. I overdubbed the vocals as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we try to do as much as we possibly could to make it feel as raw and live as possible.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Because one of the things that I hate is you like a song, then you go to see the band live, and then it doesn't sound anything like the
it's
recording.
totally different.
I would prefer that you recorded it the way it's going to sound live, because I like if it's a 3-piece band and there's only one guitar player, and I love the fact that the rhythm guitar drops out when that guy rips a solo, and because it becomes interesting. All of a sudden, the bass player and the drummer have to kind of pick up some dead space a little bit.
Totally.
And it makes it. I mean, it tells a better story.
100%.
It really, really does.
It feels like you're there in the room almost.
Right. Exactly.
And then we did have some keys and vocals overdubbed as well. And we actually have we hired for a few shows coming up. We got a keyboard player playing with us too. So that's a new thing for us. Our good friend Jake France is filling in for some shows in the near future. So just to kind of add a little bit more texture,
Right.
Yeah. So it's we've been messing with that. We always talked about having a different instrument, and initially it was like, oh well, should we get another guitar player? It's like, well, let's get something completely different. Let's get something that's a completely different texture, So
we've had occasional sax player hop up, or another horn or something like that, kind of like in a live setting, hop up, play a few songs, that kind of thing, and definitely plan in the future, like any other recordings we might do. Maybe a song needs a sax, something like that. Kind of lends itself to it, and we always kind of keeping it open to those options, because 3 pieces, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? So
have you ever considered the glockenspiel?
I've thought deeply about the glockenspiel.
Actually, most of our conversations are about that. Actually,
about the glockenspiel.
So there's a possibility we might see one on one of your live performances.
On one of our recordings that will come out soon, I'm playing banjo on.
Yeah, we do have Rob on the banjo.
Well, thanks for the warning.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You can avoid that one.
Spoiler alert.
Rockabilly bluegrass.
Yeah.
Like I said, we like to touch on a lot of different things. I suggested
musically he's talking about.
That's musically. Let's preface with that. I suggested a kazoo solo once, and nobody wanted me to do that.
A kazoo solo? Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what. A nod to my good friend Tommy Slab. Tommy, I hope you're out there, and I hope you listen to this, and I hope you're doing well. But he does these solo performances, and he wears a kazoo around his neck, and it's so cool. He's in the middle of doing his solo performance, and he sticks the kazoo in his mouth, and he just does a kazoo solo. It's freaking awesome. Everybody knows Tommy Slab for the guy that plays the kazoo.
He came out to Stillins like more than a few times. I remember seeing him out there and doing that, and that was really cool.
Absolutely. That's cool.
I heard he's not doing. He's ill right now, so best wishes to him, and I hope everything's all right with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. His wife has been updating everybody on Facebook and things like that.
That's good.
We won't talk about it on the podcast or anything, but the people that know Tommy well know what's going on, and we're all hoping for the best for him.
Absolutely.
So. Hey, let's hear the water.
Yeah, let's take it.
The water and canteen. I'm noticing a
moisture-based theme.
Yeah.
We like our water.
It's moisture pop.
Yes, it's moist.
Moisture pop.
It's moist music.
Moisture pop.
We actually we came up with a name for our genre.
H2O ability.
We're going to call it Outlaw Jangle Spank.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. These guys are really into spanking and slapping and being moist.
You betcha.
It's rock and roll, man. That's rock and roll.
All right, so this is going to be the single that we're releasing, and this is called The Water. You boys ready?
Yeah.
Should I do a count off now?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4.
People say the world is changing. Walk out when Jack can't see. You might say it can't be found, but the water keeps on flowing down that stream. Holy man on the devil's door, all still water keeps on flowing down that stream. Yeah. People say the world is ending. I was coming, can't you say? Yeah. Might say I'm a little crazy, but I don't feel too crazy to me. You might say it can't be found, but the water keeps on flowing down that stream. The holy man on the devil's door, the water keeps on flowing down that stream. Ooh, and it never seemed to mean that much to me. Yeah, 'cause that water keeps on flowing down that stream. Yeah. You might say it can't be found, but the water keeps on flowing down that stream. Hey, hey, hey! Holy man, I'll tell still the water keeps on flowing down that stream. Ooh, and it never seems to mean that much to me. Yeah, 'cause that water keeps on flowing down that stream.
I'm giving them my own applause. I'm not hitting that. I'm not hitting that button.
Live applause.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's going to be your first single release.
That's the first thing we're releasing, yep.
Of the Not Rockabilly Band.
Yes. Of the,
That's right.
the somewhat rockabilly adjacent band. Yeah.
So
Rockabilly
yes,
adjacent.
we
Hey,
had-
Rockabilly adjacent is Rockabilly.
Okay, that's fair.
So we had canteen, we had water. Now, if we
Canteen
can
and
get, if
water.
we can get something with hops and barley.
Yeah,
That would be. We do have a song about drinking whiskey. It's a blues. It's a blues tune.
That's something that we know a little bit about.
Yeah.
We do a little bit.
Yeah,
Whiskey or the blues?
Both.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes.
Some would argue as to which is more and which is less, but
Yeah, that's true.
no, that was absolutely spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
am
much.
so glad you guys came in here and did that.
Yeah, likewise.
And did you see the message that I sent you on Facebook?
Yeah.
You did.
So, yeah.
So you brought the stuff in. That was awesome.
Please, bring a guitar.
Yeah. And for the future, everybody else that comes onto this podcast, please
bring your acoustic stuff.
Bring your acoustic instruments and do exactly what these guys did.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun in here.
Oh, absolutely.
Has a good time.
So much more fun when we just have to listen to Ray and I talk.
That's right.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We're happy to play whenever people want us to. So here we are.
Yeah.
So where can people find you, social media wise? And
we are on Facebook and Instagram as Shukin And The Ramblers. We are currently working on launching a full website, but I do have a press kit page for us on my website at mattshukin.com.
SHUKIN.
Yes.
And The Ramblers.
And The Ramblers. AND, not one of those little symbols. No ampersand. No ampersand.
No ampersand. And it's not shucking, although shucking in the Ramblers, that sounds like really rockabilly.
Shuck and shack. It's like everybody thinks we get a lot of apostrophes on the end of it. People think we're shucking oysters or like I've gotten shunkin in the Ramblers. I've gotten some. I was once listed. I played a biker club and they listed me as Andrew. I don't know where they got that from. Andrew SHOOKEN.
Wow.
At least it was phonetically correct, but it's like,
damn.
So, but yeah, it's SHUKIN. That is Shukin And The Ramblers, and we're on social media. And we got some music coming out soon that will be on Spotify and all the other
big things places. Coming soon.
Yeah, big things coming soon, as all the local bands say.
Right.
Yeah, so we're on all the basic stuff, and yeah.
So where you playing? Say, what is it going to be? Some more around mid-August?
Yeah, maybe mid-August.
Yeah, where are you going to be around mid-August? Yeah.
Well, our next, we're doing, this is going to be irrelevant at the point in time, but we're doing Taste of Westmont this Saturday, and then we're playing Homegrown Arts and Music Festival the following Saturday. But I believe you got a calendar up there, Rob. If I didn't have a calendar, I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Our next big thing would be, I think, September. We're doing all kinds of local clubs and stuff, but the next big one it's called the Widow's Harvest.
Widow's Harvest Festival. Yeah.
Okay.
It's this.
So you like harvest widows and stuff?
That's
guys?
precisely what it is.
Pick one out and stuff. I'd like that one there, please.
It's a very roots rock and folk based festival. We're gonna blow them out of the waters with our drums and our giant amplifiers, and it's gonna be great. But it's like kind of arts and music festival, camping, and there's actually people from all over the country coming out to it. It's not a huge event, but everybody is there for the same reason, and it's an amazing event.
This will be our third time playing it, and it's one of the coolest things that we've ever done. And it's just everybody there is very cool. Everybody is friends. Everybody is supportive, and it's a great crowd. It's a great time, and it's just there's acts coming in from Colorado and I think from Minnesota, St. Louis. So it's a very cool small festival that this guy Keith has cultivated, and we're really looking forward to doing that. It's always fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to Keith.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's done a great job with that thing, and just always a pleasure to play there. It's like one of our favorite shows.
It's very cool.
Right.
All righty, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming out. I know at least one of you had a little trouble getting here.
Oh, yeah. Gas leak in the car. I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. Worst thing that can happen.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah. Everything's cool.
Rock and roll.
It's all cool,
That's
man.
right.
It's all cool, baby.
All righty. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. Good talking to you.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate you guys very much.
Right
this
on.
is great.
Thank you.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah.
So that's the Ramblers. I used to own a Rambler a long time ago.
You did, didn't you?
I did own a little Rambler.
Yeah.
They became AMCs, and then they came out with those Gremlins and the Pacers.
Right.
Some fine cars.
Man. Oh, yeah. But these were Shukin, not Shuckin.
No. Shukin Ramblers. These guys sounded awesome.
Shukin and the Ramblers. Yeah, they were fantastic.
Really, really good. I really enjoyed that. I could have just sat here all night listening.
Absolutely. I absolutely loved their sound.
Yep.
The upright bass, it's got a very distinctive sound. I don't care who you are. When an upright bass is being played rather than a
and when you walk in, you see it up on stage
bass.
right away. It's like, boom.
Yeah.
And what's going on here? There's an upright bass,
Yeah. Outside, beer garden, fire pit, cigar.
That's right.
Shukin and the Ramblers. Yeah.
That's right. Well, get out there and see them, folks. You just heard them on the show. They sound awesome. Their new song should be out by now.
Yeah,
It should be out. Should be out. So get out to Spotify and check them out. And
Water.
See what water. Canteens, water, and Kool-Aid.
But this one's just called Water.
Just water.
Just water.
So, alrighty then. Well, thanks again for listening to another fine episode of the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago. Rock and roll.